If you're looking to move to San Diego and you hate traffic, this video is for you. Hey there, it's Kyle Whistle with Whistle Realty Group, your guide to living in San Diego. And in today's video, I want to share with you the areas to avoid if you hate traffic. I'm one of those rare born and raised San Diegans. I've lived here my entire life, which is now spanning 40 years. Yes, I'm fine telling you my age, but I've lived here for 40 plus years and I've lived in all over San Diego County. I've experienced all the different freeways and all the different places. And I want to help you avoid some of the high traffic areas, because if you're moving to this city and you don't want to sit in the car for an hour or two a day, this video is going to help you determine where you don't want to be. So let's talk a little bit about the morning commute. So I'm going to hit on all of the freeways. And so fun fact that this might be new for you, you might refer to freeways differently where you're from, but here in San Diego, we call them the 5 freeway, the 163, the 125. That's just how we refer to freeways here. They're just the, and then whatever that freeway is. So we don't call them turnpikes. We don't even really call them freeways. We just say, oh, I gotta go hop on the 5. I gotta head out on the 8. Maybe we say 5 North, maybe we say 80s, but that's just how we refer to freeways here in San Diego. So even though they're technically called interstates or state routes, we just say it's the 5, the 8, the 163. That's just how we say things around here. So just a little fun fact about how San Diegans talk. So let's talk a little bit about the morning commute. I'm gonna hit on some of the areas that have the most traffic. Top of the list, the 5 freeway. You're gonna find that the 5 is one of those that just kind of finds itself on all of these lists. It almost feels like no matter what time of day you're on the 5, you're gonna run into traffic. So if it is in the morning time and you're headed on the 5 freeway, you're really gonna hit traffic both north and south on the 5. It's gonna be particularly bad in a few areas. The La Jolla Pacific Beach area, you're gonna find a lot of traffic in those areas. A lot of times it can be really tough to get on and off the freeways there too. So not just on the freeway itself, but the on and off ramps to get on and off the 5 can be brutal in the mornings on the 5 freeway. The other place you're gonna find a lot of traffic on the 5 freeway is if you're heading into downtown. Obviously downtown, lots of high rises, lots of jobs down there. So everybody is headed into downtown. So whether you're going north or south on the 5 freeway, headed into downtown, in the morning, you're just gonna run into traffic. There's really no way to avoid it. The other freeway that's gonna be a repeat offender on here is gonna be the 78. 78 is in North County of San Diego. You're gonna constantly have traffic on the 78 freeway. This is another one where it's really gonna go both directions. It's gonna be particularly bad on the 78 freeway when you hit the start and stop points on here. So on the west side of it, you got the 5. On the east side of it, you got the 15. So transitioning on and off that 78 can be really rough. And then a lot of times it backs up right in the middle on the 78, again, going both ways around that San Marcos area. So keep that in mind. If you got to be on the 78 freeway, you're probably going to end up in traffic regardless of what direction you're going. Next up on the list, 805. So the 805 freeway, this one tends to be a little bit worse headed north, but there's another area that is a high congregation of office buildings. That's going to be in the Sorrento Valley and UTC area. Anytime you are headed into UTC or Sorrento Valley, especially if you're on the northbound side of the 805 in the morning, everybody's driving into those areas to go to their offices. You got big businesses like US Bank there, you got Qualcomm there, you got Samsung there. So lots of big businesses in those areas. A lot of people driving to their jobs. Another area you're going to hit some traffic with people driving to their jobs is going to be the 163 South. So the 163 literally dead ends into, dead ends, probably not the right term, but it terminates at the downtown. So it literally turns from a freeway into a street, and you run into a stoplight when you hit the end of the 163. So a lot of people are either taking the 5 or the 163 coming into downtown. So again, anytime you're heading into downtown in the morning, you're going to hit some traffic. Other areas where you tend to hit a lot of traffic, if you live in the eastern part of San Diego County, you live in areas like Santee or Lakeside, El Cajon, there's not a lot of big office buildings and whatnot in the East County part of San Diego. So a lot of people living in the suburbs of those communities, they're headed west in the mornings to get to downtown or to get to Sereno Valley, or even Rancho Bernardo is another area where you have a lot of jobs up in those areas. So a lot of people, when you're heading, if you live in East County and you're heading west in the morning, you're probably going to run into traffic. And the last freeway to hit on is the 15 freeway. Where you run into traffic on the 15 freeway is if you live up in the Temecula area, which is actually not even San Diego County, but a lot of people have chosen to move to Temecula, Murrieta, some of these other areas that would be considered South Riverside County. You get a little bit more bang for your buck if you live up in those areas, so you can get a bigger home for less money. The exchange, when you do that, is there's a lot of people that had that same thought, so everybody's headed south in the morning to come down to San Diego for their jobs, so that 15 South can be a little bit rough in the morning time. So those are all your freeways in the mornings. If you are looking for your evening commute, for the most part, these are just gonna flip-flop, so headed the opposite direction. So again, the 5, both directions are gonna be pretty rough on the 5. There's a couple areas that stand out on the 5. One is going to be the downtown area, because now you got everybody headed out of downtown. So both the 5 and the 163 leaving downtown are both going to be a little bit rough. And then there's also a thing that we refer to as the merge in San Diego, and that's where the 5 freeway and the 805 freeway merge together. And that's just north of La Jolla in Sorrento Valley. So the 805 comes through Sorrento Valley, the 5 comes through La Jolla, and then they merge together. That is always rough traffic. You got 2 huge freeways merging together. It's inevitable that you're going to hit a lot of traffic there. So the 805 North in the mornings, the 805 North and the 5 North, when they hit that merge, both of those are going to be pretty rough. As I mentioned before, the 78 freeway, both ways, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're going to get hit in traffic on the 78. It's pretty tough to avoid up there, either way that you're going. 805 South. So this is one that's important to know here in San Diego. We have a lot of people that commute. So one on the north side, you've got people in like Temecula, Murrieta, areas of South Riverside County coming down to San Diego. You also have a lot of people that live down in Tijuana. Now, a lot of people say Tijuana. I challenge you, look at the spelling of it. Tell me where the Tia comes from. It's Tijuana. Tijuana, that's how we say it. Or for short, we call it TJ. So there's a lot of people coming up from Tijuana that actually cross the border every single day to come to work in San Diego. Well, when they're coming north in the morning, it's not so bad because they're hitting the border, then they get cleared and they come through. So they're kind of spread out going north in the morning. But when they're all headed south in the evening, the traffic gets really rough, especially on the 805 of all the people that are crossing back over the border to go back home to Tijuana. So if you're headed south on the 805, closer to the border, there's almost always traffic in the evening time there. Last one to hit on there, or 2 more, I'm sorry, 8 and the 52, as we mentioned. Those tend to go your east-west freeways. Well, as everybody came west in the mornings to go to their jobs, they got to head east to get home from their jobs in the evening time. So the 8 and the 52, those are going to be some pretty heavy traffic in the evening time. And then again, your people that are up in Temecula going north, you're going to hit a lot of traffic headed back up into Temecula. So if you're headed up that way, basically Temecula, yeah, you saved some money and you got a lower cost of living, but you're getting hammered in traffic both ways when you're leaving Temecula in the morning and you're headed back in the afternoons. So make sure to keep that in mind. And then the last one is the weekends. What's the traffic like on the weekends? Well, yeah, we actually have traffic on the weekends. So that might not be normal where you live, but here in San Diego, it is. And why is it like that? Because it's a freaking great place to be. We've got some of the best weather in the entire world, not just in the States, not just in the country, but in the world. The weather here in San Diego is absolutely amazing year round. And so you've got a lot of people coming into San Diego on the weekends. So typically on a Friday, or if it's a holiday weekend on a Thursday, you got a ton of people that are coming down to San Diego from Orange County, from Los Angeles, from Riverside, from San Bernardino. So all of your freeways headed south on a Thursday or Friday, you tend to have a little bit of extra traffic of people that are coming down to San Diego for the weekend. And then on the flip side of that, everybody that's headed north to head back home on a Sunday, you tend to run into a lot of traffic headed north. So really any of your northbound freeways on a Sunday, or any of your southbound freeways on a Thursday or Friday, you're going to have some added traffic from everybody who's coming down to what we refer to as America's finest city. So with that said, I hope this helps you. I don't know about you, I hate sitting in traffic, so I'm trying to do everything I can to avoid traffic here in San Diego. A couple little fun facts about San Diego is we have a lot of carpool lanes in San Diego. So on a lot of these freeways, especially your north-south freeways, we have carpool lanes. So you'll find a lot of people out here that are carpool to work. So they'll pick a friend up so they could have two people in a vehicle. And now you can ride in those carpool lanes where there tends to be a lot less traffic. We also have something called a fast pass where you get a little transponder you can put in the car. And even if you're by yourself, you can take some of those carpool lanes. You're just going to pay a fee. Fun fact, they tell you how much it's going to cost you before you hop in the lane. If the cost it shows you is very low, that means there's probably no traffic. You're wasting your money. If the cost is high, which I've seen it north of $10 to take one of these, think of them almost like a toll road, but they're not technically a toll road. But I've seen these things be north of $10 before. Well, if it's north of $10, you should probably take it, because that means the traffic on the regular freeway is really, really rough. So you got carpool lanes, and you've got the fast track. And then the other thing is, we're here in California. A lot of people drive electric vehicles. It's a huge thing here. It feels like I pulled up to my daughter's school the other day and felt like half the parking lot was electric vehicles. There's Teslas everywhere here. So very, very common to see that. And a lot of these electric vehicles, when you buy them, and even some of the other cars like hydrogen powered vehicles and some of the hybrids out there, you get these little stickers that you get to put on your car, and they're colored stickers. And depending on what color sticker you got, now the colors are relevant based on the type of vehicle and the year that you bought it, you get to put that sticker on your car, and it allows you to ride in those carpool lanes, even if you don't have a passenger with you. So even if you're riding alone, but you're in a Tesla, you can actually take those carpool lanes, both on the freeway, and some of these on and off ramps here in San Diego could be really rough. Like coming out of Pacific Beach in the mornings, you could sit in that ramp for 20, 30 minutes sometimes. So by having that, they call them I think it's a CAV sticker, clean air vehicle. By having one of those stickers on your car, you can actually hop in the carpool lane even though you're by yourself. So make sure to consider that. If you hate traffic, one of the ways that you can avoid it is by driving a vehicle that's going to get you one of those stickers. Typically, those are going to be your electric vehicles. So I hope this video was helpful in you making your decision on where you want to live when you move here to San Diego. If you are exploring it, my team and I would love the opportunity to be your guide to living in San Diego, because when you move here, San Diego is a very diverse place. There's a lot of different places to live. You got multi-million-dollar oceanfront homes to very affordable suburban homes if you go inland a little bit. We'd like to be your guide to help you determine exactly where you need to live in San Diego. If you do want to reach out to our team, give us a call, shoot us a text at the phone number down below. Our team will connect with you and we'll help you and guide you through that process. I'm Kyle Wissel with Wissel Realty Group, your guide to living in San Diego.